Alright,
Previously
so this is exactly
on
what I got.
Hunting with
Everything's
Tripler.
laid out, but then this game here is really the surprise. Now the Game Boy inbox.
If you want to be entered into the giveaway,
What's happening, folks? Tripler here. Have you ever wanted to make over an old console of yours? Well, stick around in today's episode because we refurbish an NES top loader and double our money on eBay. Check this one out.
I collect so many things. Would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join in the chase. Yeah!
What is happening, folks? Tripler here, and I thought today I might do something just different. And I like to do things that are different. I like the channel to have a little bit of variety to it, and today what I thought might be interesting is to show you guys how simple it might be for you to take used consoles, something like an NES top loader. This could be any number of cartridge-based systems, and clean them, fix them, and to a certain extent refurbish them so that when you're selling them on eBay, you can get a premium for it. This particular item I got for $40. I got it in Las Vegas. You never got to see the footage, but I'm going to include that right here. The footage of me picking up this top loader in Las Vegas. So check it out. Dude, busted. Yeah! Yeah! Dude, that was awesome. You were just gonna sit there forever.
God, it's like forever.
All right, dude.
No problem, brother. Everything works great, man.
All right, cool.
It's a good little deal for you.
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, I wasn't expecting to pick this up. I'm even here for work, but I was like, you know what? I'm always searching for games.
So I'm glad somebody that appreciates the stuff. Likes
Oh, I
it.
do, dude. This is my thing.
All right,
So,
brother. All right, man. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Have a good day.
It's not in rough shape, but what it is it's just got a lot of marks on it. On the back side, this label, which is desirable for a lot of collectors, would probably be a bit of a turnoff. And then on the bottom side, not too bad. This label is the one I think most people take a quick peek at. These two are in pretty good condition. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this apart. You will need a screwdriver that is I believe it's a star bit, a reverse star bit, just something that you could pick up on eBay for probably $3 or $4. So what we'll do is we will disassemble this, we'll take it apart, I'll show you the cleaning process that I do, and then try to get some of these marks off. And since it's got a little bit of yellowing, I'm gonna show you what I use to try to bring back some of that color. Now here is something I wanna caution any of you who want to do the quote-unquote Retrobrite for something plastic like this. If you don't do it right, you will leave streak marks all over your item. It means that you have to be quick on it, you have to be watching it, and especially if you're gonna use the sun, you don't need a whole lot of time. If you have a UV set up in your own place and you do this often, you're probably gonna laugh at me with my process, but I approve of what I'm doing only because I've done it a few times before. So with that, we're gonna take this apart, I'll show you all the pieces, I'll show you how I try to organize them, and then just walk you through what it looks like right now to what it's gonna look like in the end. Right now, if I was to sell this, I would probably ask maybe $75 to $85. It would include one controller, it would include probably one game, and the OEM cords, which would be the RF adapter, I think RF cable, RF adapter, and the OEM cable. So let's take this apart real quick and then get into the cleaning process first. Stay tuned. So the simplest system to take apart, in my opinion, is this top loader. So the really great thing about this is you're dealing with 4 screws to get the bottom enclosure away from the top. You've got 2 very similar sized screws that are Phillips head. So once you've opened it, it's all Phillips head inside. And then you've got 2 that affix the board then down into the actual physical bottom enclosure. So the really great thing about this process, in my opinion, is it just does not require a whole lot of work. It's really simple to take apart, And for any of you who are asking what's that process, I did skip that, but for the purpose of just explaining kind of what I'm doing here, it requires just pulling out these 4 screws on the bottom, pulling off the top from it, and then you have 4 screws that have affixed this section then to the bottom enclosure, and then you have 2 other screws, which at this exact moment, I'm not exactly sure where they were, but apologies for that. For these 2 pieces, this is what I'm gonna spend most of my time cleaning, as much as I can, trying to get these marks off of it. You can take a soft bristle brush to try to get some of this off first. As you move into the heavier type of bristle, you will inevitably start leaving marks on the plastic itself. So you've got to be really careful. I think it's a lot easier instead to focus in on the chemical you're using to get it off. Now it's hard for you guys to see some of this yellowing, but I think as I get a little bit closer, you can kind of see it, and this is all just really yellowed. So we're gonna try to get that off as the step we'll take right after we clean these 2 plastic pieces. So let's go clean them, and then after we've done that, we'll start the Retrobrite process, and then we'll go on to reassembling, hopefully.
Important step, make sure that you put all of your smaller items into a bag so you don't lose them. That includes small screws. Some people have other systems like using like an ice cube tray, but I just want to make sure you don't lose your stuff. So I just use a nice little plastic bag here to keep all of my items in one place.
Okay, so the first thing I am gonna try is I'm just gonna use an all-purpose cleaning wipe, and I'm gonna see if I can get off any of this excess residue. I'm gonna guess most of this is not going to come off, but we are gonna try anyway. Boy, I am running low on rubbing alcohol. In fact, I don't even know if that's enough to even mess with this. Yeah, nothing. Well, you know what? Nah, didn't really do anything. We are going to take one more stab at a product, and that is my favorite cleaning tool, Goo Gone. Yes, folks, Goo Gone is a magical product. If you're one of those who doesn't allow it to sit, then you're not totally using the product correctly. So I'm gonna let that sit, and then we're gonna come back and see if that's done anything. Hopefully it's done something. I'm just gonna take a quick swipe to see if that has loosened up anything. It really hasn't. So spray it, allow a little bit of moisture to help what I'm doing, and it's just not enough. It's just not enough to make any noticeable difference. You know, some of it came up just a little bit, but just not much. Not enough to call this like a really clean unit. I'm gonna try one more trick with my Mr. Wonderful stick and see if that has any effect. You know, you never know. So I'm willing to try anything before I start to physically scratch the plastic. You can see this is one spot in particular I'm really trying to get out. So I'm gonna use this magic, and it's nothing. Not even, nothing at all. I've got here a 600 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gonna lightly hit this edge here. So you can see right here on this corner, we're gonna see what that does, and just see if just a little light sanding will get some of those marks out. And it's definitely working. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be noticeable. That's the problem. So with a light sanding, you are starting to see some of those spots go away. But like I said, the problem with doing that is that now you are, so I'm gonna work on this spot right here. You're gonna start showing that sand mark. Some of you are probably gonna watch this and go, what is this guy doing? And I invite any comments because I'm not a professional. I'm just doing what I've been doing. And you know, this works for me. It certainly isn't something that I'm saying you have to do by any means. And you may have a better system than I have here. I want to get high dollar for an NES top loader. There's no reason to not get that if you can make it look nice and clean. I hope I'm not making a complete mistake is I guess what I'm getting at here. Starting to look a lot better. You can see that some of these areas where there were definitely deep scratches are most certainly being minimized. Now the only thing left here is just trying to see. I think I would call that good. So this is kind of a quick look at the system now. Side, the top. There's kind of one spot right here I'm gonna get. And that's that. So, next step is to rinse this, and then our Retrobrite process will begin. Hey, before I get into the actual scrubbing this down and then moving to the Retrobrite, I wanted to mention this sticker again. So you can go on eBay and they have these stickers available, if you can see that. You have a cheap one for $5.75 and then you've got one for $8.75. I'm just gonna look at the ratings of each of these sellers and pick the one that makes the most sense to me. You want this sticker right here to look as good as possible. So I am going to assume this is gonna be replaced and go with one that is fresh, nice, and new looking.
Okay, we're in the sink. We're gonna scrub this down. We're gonna let it soak just for a couple minutes, and then we will get this thing nice and clean. Now, I'm not gonna do this to the bottom one because those stickers are incredibly important. So unfortunately, this is really just gonna be a scrub and wash of the top. The other one is in better condition anyway, so I'm simply just on that one going to give it a nice scrub with a wet wipe, and that will do it. So wash this down. I've got a soft bristle brush I'll use, and then this will be ready for Retrobrite. Okay, so for the Retrobriting, I use Salon Care 40, the cream. So let me show you kind of what the process is to apply the Retrobrite. It is super simple. You know, you're just sticking a brush into the solution, and then you're gonna come back over here and just apply it nice and easy. Try to put it into, you know, even doses, even strokes, not to leave a whole lot of extra on it. From here, I'm gonna put this into a plastic bag, and then we will put it out in the sun. So hold on just a moment. I've got my plastic bag. I'm gonna get underneath it, gonna take it outside. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Little wind never hurt anyone. Okay, we're gonna let this sit in the sun. Whew, please do not go away. We'll let this bake in the sun for, I don't know, probably a couple hours. We'll come back and check it out. And it's looking really good. I know this is not gonna do any justice to what I'm seeing, but that yellowing has diminished considerably. And now this is the color it should be. And obviously this is where we're at. So it's getting closer. I'm gonna leave it out for another hour, and then we'll come back and check. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finished product of our cleaned and our Retrobrite version of our Nintendo NES top loader. So let's go ahead and get this reassembled. We'll have to wait for the sticker before we can put it up for a listing, but I think it looks fantastic. I should be able to command pretty good money for this. I'll put the bundle together, and you guys tell me what you think about this, I guess this makeover, this restoration, so to speak.
Okay, we've got everything laid out. I've got my tools here. Let's get this thing back together. Let's get this thing listed on eBay. And here it is, folks. The NES top loader in fantastic condition. Very happy with how it turned out. We'll bring over the original cable, the RF adapter. We'll grab a nice controller. Let's plug it in, test it, and then we're done. And that was today's episode, folks. It's really nice to be able to spend only approximately 45 minutes total on that entire process, maybe a little bit more than that, and I doubled my money. So is it worth it? Everyone has to answer that question for themselves, and for me, it was absolutely worth it. By the way, folks, we are gonna change the schedule around a little bit. We were gonna show the results of the auction from Ecom and Beyond, but instead we're actually going to put that into next week's episode, and we are going to be doing the 500 subscriber giveaway results on Tuesday's episode as well. So if you aren't a subscriber and if you haven't gone and commented on the last video, so you better do that now, because I'm gonna be giving away an Xbox One X or a $300 Amazon gift card. Do yourself a favor, check that out, become a subscriber, and join me on the weekly journey. Thank you guys for joining me. I always appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Next time on
The
Hunting with
listing
Tripper.
backdrop looks like. I'll take a photo of this.
It is 24 hours, not even.
Bam! Let's give away an Xbox One X, come on!